Welcome back to the Deep Dive. We're here to really unpack things, get you genuinely well informed. And today, we're tackling something pretty interesting in the car world. It's about the new Kia Cerato 2026. How does it try to be, premium, safe, appeal globally, but still be that affordable, economical car it's known for? We've gone through all the reviews, the specs you sent us. Our mission, figure out if Kia actually managed this balancing act, and importantly, what it means for you. Exactly. And the Cerato 2026, it's more than just a little update. It feels like a statement.
It's an
Car fans everywhere are watching this one closely. Why? Because it promises that mixed modern looks, practical performance, good price. That's tough in this compact segment. So our goal today is simple. Give you the key insights fast. Cut straight to what matters and why these details are important in the bigger picture. Okay, let's start right there. First impressions.
Yeah.
You see the Cerato 2026 on the road. What jumps out? What's Kia saying with the outside?
Well, it's interesting. It doesn't just look nice. It seems like he is deliberately trying to shake up how we see compact sedans, which can be a bit, well, bland sometimes. They've gone for a more aggressive front end. Some reviews even say it borrows a bit from the Stinger, their performance car. You see these smooth lines, this new grille that flows right into the headlights, sporty touches front and back too. It's not just aesthetics, though. It feels strategic, trying to make it feel sporty, maybe a bit premium, even though it's in that budget-friendly category. It's a gamble, but one that often works with buyers.
That's a great point. So design is a tool to sort of elevative status. It's not just another compact sedan. I want you to notice it. Yeah, that aggressive but still elegant style, it does position it differently. All right, so the outside grabs you. But the cabin, I hear Kia's made some genuinely surprising choices for this price point. I really want to get into that. What's the feeling, the tech, when you actually open the door and sit inside the 2026 Cerato?
Yeah, inside is where you really see the strategy. It's more than just contemporary elegant, like the brochures say. Our sources point to Kia really pushing perceived quality. The design balances, looks with, actual usability. There's a big touchscreen, obviously. Standard is 8-inch, but higher trims get this larger, nicer 10.25-inch one. Both have Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. That's pretty standard now, sure, but it works well here. And the materials. It's not just talk. You feel the difference from older models. Less hard plastic, more soft touch surfaces, some chrome bits, nicer switches. It all feels, well, a bit more expensive than it probably is. That's definitely aimed at making rivals feel a bit dated inside.
Right, that feeling expensive part is huge for how you experience a car every day.
Yeah.
But okay, beyond the nice materials and the big screen, how practical is it? For people, for luggage? Because the fancy interior doesn't help if you can't fit anything in it.
Absolutely. Practicality is key here. And the Cerato 2026, it does pretty well. The seats, front and back, are designed to be spacious, supportive, good for, say, small families, young professionals. Headroom is surprisingly decent, too, even with that sloping roofline. Higher trims, you get things like power seats, heating, even cooling sometimes, stuff you'd expect maybe in a bigger car. And crucially, the trunk space. It's about 502 liters, which is, plenty for big suitcases, the weekly shop. Plus the back seats split 60.4, they don't fold down. The floor's pretty flat too. So checking in longer stuff, like from IKEA or sports gear, is easier. That's a really useful touch.
502 liters, wow. And that 60.4 AD split, yeah, that's genuinely useful for this class. Those practical bits often seal the deal for people needing an economical sedan. Okay, so space is good. What about other tech? Beyond the main screen, what else makes the drive feel, well, modern and connected?
Well, besides the main screen, higher trims get built-in navigation, which is handy. Bluetooth is standard everywhere, of course, but they've thought about the details. Multiple USB ports, front and back, so everyone can charge their devices. Good sound system, too, 6 or 8 speakers. The GT trim often gets a JBL system, which is pretty premium. Some versions get a digital driver display instead of traditional dials. Looks modern, lets you customize what you see. And wireless phone charging. That's a big convenience. Just drop your phone in, no messing with cables, makes the dashboard feel cleaner.
Okay, quick reminder. If you're finding this deep dive useful, please do hit that like button, subscribe so you catch all our future deep dives, and maybe share this with any friends thinking about a car like the Cerato. So we know how it looks, how it feels inside. But the drive, that's critical. Kia's been talking more about driving dynamics lately. What's the thinking behind the Cerato 2026's engine? Are they refining what they had or trying something new for power and efficiency?
That's a really good question because the engine is, well, the heart of it all. From what we're seeing, the main engine will likely be an updated 1.6-liter four-cylinder, around 1600 cc. It should put out something like 130 to 136 horsepower and 155 to 157 newton meters of torque. It's not aiming for, neck-snapping speed. It's about reliable, efficient power for everyday driving. There might be a 2.0-liter option, maybe 152 horsepower for a bit more grunt, but that depends on the market sometimes. Taxes or efficiency rules favor the smaller engine. It feels like Kia sticking with what works. Proven, solid, economical engines.
Right, so practical choices there, not chasing huge horsepower numbers. Makes sense. But okay, you're driving it. What does that mean in the real world speed? And really importantly, how thirsty is it? What's the fuel economy like?
Performance-wise, expect 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in about 12 seconds. Top speed, around 200 kilometers now. 12 seconds isn't super fast, obviously, but it's right there with competitors in the segment. It's fine for daily driving, and the transmission tuning often makes it feel responsive enough. Fuel economy is where it really shines for many buyers. Around 11 to 14 kilometers per liter in the city, maybe 15 to 17 on the highway. It's got a 50-liter tank, so decent range. It's front-wheel drive, FWD, standard stuff for this class, usually paired with a smooth 6-speed automatic. Some places might get a manual, for those who still like that.
Got it, a solid daily driver package.
Yeah.
But numbers are one thing. How does it feel on the road? The suspension, the ride quality, is it all about comfort? Or does it try to be a bit sporty? How do they balance that?
Well, it uses a pretty standard setup. McPherson struts up front, torsion beam at the back. That's common for cost and space reasons in compacts. But the key thing our sources mention is Kia's tuning. They worked hard on that torsion beam setup to make it less harsh than they sometimes can be, especially over bumps. Reviewers actually mention it rides surprisingly well for the class. Comfortable for commutes, but not too soft or floaty. It's definitely not a sports sedan. You won't be carving up mountain roads like in some rivals. But for most driving, it feels stable, predictable, confidence-inspiring. They've done a good job refining a standard setup.
Okay, so well-tuned for comfort and stability, which is probably just right for most people looking at this car. Now, safety. Always critical. And these days, it's a huge selling point. What do we know about the 2026 Cerato's safety ratings? How does it stack up in crash tests?
Right, safety.
It's a big question. Just how safe is it? And how does it get its ratings? According to ANSI CAP tests, the higher trim levels of the Cerato 2026 got a full 5-star rating. Excellent protection in front crashes, side impacts, whiplash prevention, all the important stuff. But here's the crucial bit. Why did some base trims, the S and Sport, only get 4 stars? It came down to the automatic emergency braking, the AEB system. Those base models used a camera-only system, which was okay for detecting cars, but not pedestrians or cyclists reliably enough for the top rating at the time. The higher trims, though, they use a Radar Plus camera system for AEB. That fusion system does detect pedestrians and cyclists effectively, earning the 5 stars. It really shows how much difference the specific tech package makes.
That's a really vital distinction. Definitely something buyers need to know, emphasizes the value in moving up a trim or adding that safety pack. Can you give us a rundown of the specific safety features, especially the stuff in that full AD suite on the higher trims? Sure. So standard across the board, you get 6 airbags, front, side, curtain. That's a good direct line, plus the essentials. ABS brakes, electronic brake force distribution, EBD, brake assist, and electronic stability control, ISC, to help keep you stable. Hill start assist is standard too, stops you rolling back on hills. Then moving up, especially with the safety pack or higher trims, you get a lot more. Things like blind spot warning, rear cross traffic alerts, super helpful in parking lots and front parking sensors. The full drive-wise system adds things like that advanced AED we mentioned, a strong body structure, rear view camera, front and rear sensors, driver attention alert if you're getting tired, high beam assist for night driving, and even safe exit warning, which stops you opening a door into traffic. It's really comprehensive on those top models.
Okay, so beyond the car itself, where does the Cerato 2026 fit in? It's a tough market out there. Who are its main rivals? And what's its history? Where did it come from?
Yeah, it's a very competitive space.
Yeah.
The Cerato goes up against some heavy hitters. You've got the Toyota Corolla, famous for reliability, fuel economy. The Hyundai Elantra often has that bold design, modern interior. The Honda Civic, known for being a bit sporty, also reliable. And the Nissan Sentra, usually strong on value, good interior space. The Cerato tries to find that sweet spot in the middle, offering good interior quality, strong safety features for the price, trying to be the solid all-rounder without a major weakness.
Tough competition indeed. And its history. How long has the Cerato been around to reach this point? Does its history tell us anything?
Oh, has quite a history. The first Kia Cerato came out way back in 2003. Since then, it's gone through 5 different generations. Each one brought big steps forward in looks, engineering, tech, and it's clearly worked. They've sold over 10 million Ceratos worldwide since it started.
10 million, that's huge. Really speaks to its lasting appeal, doesn't it? What do you think, from the research, has been the secret to that success over 5 generations?
It suggests Kia's consistently figured out what compact sedan buyers want in lots of different countries and adapted over time.
Incredible number. So where do they actually build this global success story? Is it made everywhere? What's the strategy there?
Well, the manufacturing footprint is pretty smart, actually. Shows Kia's global thinking. The main factory is in South Korea, in Hwaseong. That supplies a lot of the world, Asia, Europe, Middle East. But for North America, where it's called the Kia Forte, they build it right there in the U.S. in West Point, Georgia. Then there's a plant in Mexico, in Pesqueria, mainly for Latin America, helps with local costs and tailoring the car. And in China, there's a specific version, the Kia K3, built with a local partner. So this multi-factory approach lets them be efficient, adapt to local needs, and really solidify their presence everywhere.
Okay, so we have all these features, this global reach, this long history. What about the choices, the different versions? And crucially, what's the price tag look like for the 2026 Cerato? Let's get into trims and cost.
All right, the trim levels. Kia usually structures them quite logically. You start with the S, that's the base, but it's not stripped bare. You get steel wheels, but still that 8-inch touchscreen with Apple, CarPlay, Android Auto, cruise control, aircon. The basics are covered. Then there's the S with safety pack. This is a really important one. It adds those key advanced safety systems, the better AEB, blind spot monitoring, rear cross traffic alert. Honestly, probably worth the step up for many people.
Yeah, that safety pack sounds like a key differentiator even early on. What if you want more style or a bit more sportiness?
Exactly. For that, you look at the Sport trim. That brings in 17-inch alloy wheels, the bigger 10.25-inch screen with built-in navigation and digital radio, plus a nicer fake leather steering wheel. Feels a bit more premium. Step up again to Sport Plus C. That adds more luxury touches. Heated leather seats, dual-zone climate control, mirrors that fold automatically, and even bigger brakes at the back. And then, right at the top is the GT. This is the one for performance and features. It gets the punchier 1.6-liter turbo engine, a more sophisticated multi-link rear suspension for better handling, full LED lights, that premium JBL sound system, wireless phone charging, and often a sunroof, too. It's the fully loaded version.
It's quite a ladder of features. Definitely seems that there's a Cerato for different needs and budgets. So the big question, what sort of price range are we talking about, and how does that compare?
Price-wise, based on global estimates, it seems competitive. You might see the base Cerato S starting around, say, $17,100 USD in a market like Australia. Then it climbs up to maybe around $31,000 USD for the top spec GT in North America. Obviously, these are just estimates. Prices vary a lot by country, taxes, exact features included. But generally, compared to its rivals, the Cerato often gives you maybe a slightly nicer interior feel or more features for similar money, especially in those mid-range Sport and Sport Plus trims. That's its value play. Oh, and colors. Lots of choice there usually. Metallic grays, different blues, white, black, silver, red, even an orange sometimes. Plenty of ways to personalize it.
Okay, let's pull all of this together. For someone thinking about the Kia Cerato 2026, what's the bottom line? What are the real standout advantages and maybe the things they should double-check fit their needs? Let's start with the positives.
Sure. If we circle back to that balancing act idea, the Cerato 2026 does pretty well, the big pluses. That stylish, modern exterior design, it really does look good for its class. The interior feels advanced, uses quality materials, definitely punches above its weight sometimes. Cargo space is genuinely good, very practical. The modern safety systems, especially on trims with the full package, offer real peace of mind. Fuel economy is strong too, around 6.5 liters per 100 kilometers on average. Great for running costs. And you can't forget Kia's warranty. Usually 5 years, 100,000 kilometers, sometimes even longer for hybrid bits in certain markets. That's a big confidence booster.
That's a compelling list, hitting style, practicality, safety, and running costs. Definitely speaks to a broad audience. But like we said, no car's perfect. Where might the Cerato 2026 not be the absolute best? What are the potential drawbacks people should be aware of?
That's fair. A few things to consider. Rear legroom, while generally okay, might be a bit tight for really tall adults on long trips. That's pretty common in this size of car, though. The standard 1.6-liter engine is efficient, but performance is just average. If you want exciting acceleration, you'll need the GT's turbo engine or maybe look elsewhere. Sound insulation at high speeds could be a bit better. You might notice a bit more road or wind noise compared to some quieter rivals. And as we highlighted, getting the full suite of advanced safety tech means going for the higher trims, which bumps up the price. That's a key decision point. Lastly, handling. It's stable and comfortable, but not particularly sporty or sharp on twisty roads compared to something like a Civic, maybe. It's more of a comfortable cruiser.
Those are really important nuances. Helps people match the car to what they really need. Do you need max rear legroom? Is top-tier safety a must-have? Is sporty handling critical? And it's worth remembering, as you mentioned, things like reasonable maintenance costs and parts availability generally add to that long-term value proposition for Kia. And that brings us to the end of this deep dive on the Kia Cerato 2026. We've looked at the design, the tech inside, how it drives, the safety story, where it fits in the market, and the different versions and prices. Huge thanks for sharing all those insights from the sources, and thank you for joining us. Hopefully this gives you a real shortcut to understanding this important new car.
My pleasure. And maybe one final thought to leave you with. Considering how the Cerato has evolved over 5 generations and how Kia builds it all over the world, how might that strategy affect its appeal long-term, especially as competitors get more diverse, more specialized? What does the Cerato's path tell us about where the whole compact sedan market might be heading?
That is a great question to chew on. Something for you to think about. Hey, before you go, if you have questions or your own take, find us on social media. We've linked a full written review of the Cerato in the show notes too. And for all the latest car news, check out our Car Press channel on WhatsApp. Until next time, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and keep diving deep.